Welcome, my friends, to the Literary Guild, the Library Book Club. And the first book on our reading list is The Season of Styx, Malone. I will be reading the book to you, and I found a trailer that will introduce the book and hopefully grab your attention so that you'll want to hear me read. Caleb and his big brother Bobby Jean are excited to have adventures in the woods behind their house. But Caleb dreams of venturing beyond their ordinary small town. Then they meet their new neighbor, Styx Malone. Styx is 16 and oozes cool. He convinces the brothers to join him in the great escalator trade, exchanging one thing for another until they achieve their wildest dream. However, soon they find that Styx has secrets that are big enough to ruin everything. This is a Coretta Scott King honor book and winner of the Boston Globe Horn Book Award. The Shelf Awareness team says it's heartening and hopeful. Publishers Weekly claims that it's genuinely funny, heartbreaking, and uplifting. An extraordinary story with extraordinary friendships and storytelling. The book is by Keelan Lagoon, Wendy Lamb Books of 2018. And this book trailer was created by Casey Bowles, an SLIS graduate, student at Texas Women's University. So I will get started, and I don't have any other videos to show you. So basically, it's going to be a green screen, or in this case, blue screen, while I read. The season of Styx Malone begins with Chapter 1, An Extraordinary, Extraordinary Journey. Styx Malone didn't believe in miracles, but he was one. Until he came along, there was nothing very special about life in Sutton, Indiana. Styx came to us like magic, the really, really powerful kind. There was no grand puff of smoke or anything, but he appeared as if from nowhere, right in our very own woods. Maybe we summoned him, like a superhero responding to a beacon in the night. Maybe we just plain wanted everything he offered. Adventure, excitement, the biggest trouble we've ever gotten into in our lives. We got into with Styx Malone. It wasn't Styx's fault entirely, and usually I'd be quick to blame a mess like this on Bobby Jean. But no matter how you slice it, this one circles back to me. It all started the moment I broke the cardinal rule of the Franklin household: leave well enough alone. It was Independence Day, which might have had something to do with it. I woke up with the sunrise like usual, stretched my hands and feet from my top bunk to the ceiling like usual. I touched each of the familiar pictures taped there: the Grand Canyon, the Milky Way, Victoria Falls, Table Mountain. Then I rolled onto my belly, dropped my face over the side of the upper bunk, and blurted out to Bobby Jean, "I don't care what Dad says. I don't want to be ordinary." "What?" he said. I knew he was awake. His eyes were open and blinking up at me. He had his covers pushed down and his socks balled up in his fist. He must have heard me. "I said, I don't want to be ordinary. I want to be the other thing." What other thing? Bobby Jean said. I rolled onto my back. Never mind. I didn't really know what I meant, but it was on my mind because of what happened last night at dinner time. Dad got home from his shift at the factory around 6, which was normal. He turned on the television, piping through the house the sound of news reports about things that were happening so far from here they barely seemed real. The reporters were always blabbing on about economics and politics and the constant breaking news. But every once in a while, I would see something that made me want to reach through the screen and touch it. Like to get closer to it or to make it a little bit real. There was a story about dolphins one time and a feature about a group of kids who sailed a boat around the world. Special things, things you never find in Sutton. The problem was, Dad was always talking about us being ordinary folks, about how ordinary folks like this and ordinary folks needed that. He usually said all this to the TV, but our house isn't that big and his voice is pretty loud, so you can always hear him. Ordinary folks just need to be able to fill the gas tank without it breaking them. Ordinary folks go to church on Sundays. Ordinary folks don't care who you've been stepping out with, just pass the dang laws. A lot of times he said it more colorful than that, but I'm not allowed to repeat that kind of language. That night in particular, he was getting all hot and bothered, as Mom would say. He was ranting at the TV, and Bobby Jean and I were playing Battleship behind the couch. Sneaking back there was a tight fit for us, but we needed to practice undercover operations. Our ongoing spy game was the best thing we'd come up with for summer entertainment thus far. If I could sink deep enough into the game, it felt like I could take on the whole world. Caleb Franklin, international man of mystery. A trench coat, a passport, dark sunglasses, and a briefcase of world-saving secrets. An important handoff, code word clearance. Yahtzee, Bobby Jean yelled, which was what he yelled whenever he won at anything. My spy bubble burst. The secret safe house dissolved. My shoulder ached from being squeezed into the couch wall gap. I didn't have a passport. I'd never so much as crossed the Sutton town limits. When the news went to commercial, the ad jingle was a piece of classical music. I popped my head up over the back of the couch. I know that song. We played it in band. It's Tarantelle. Dinner, Mom called. Dad turned off the TV. Hey, Dad said to me, you got that from just a few notes? I shrugged. I like that music. That's because you're extraordinary, Dad said, patting my shoulder. Let's eat. My heart plummeted. I knew Dad thought he was paying me a compliment since he loves to have ordinary this and ordinary that. Still, my heart sank. Extraordinary? Like so plain and normal that it was something to be proud of? I hated this. Hated it. Which is why I thought about it all night and into the morning, and why I vowed that no matter what it took, I was not going to be so ordinary. Dad took us to his union hall that night for the 4th of July picnic. Mom had to work, so it was Dad and the three of us kids, Bobby Jean, me, and our little sister Susie. Susie's only 1 year old, and Dad wanted to be able to talk to his buddies freely and play cards, so he put Bobby Jean and me in charge of her. That was Dad's first mistake. His second mistake was not forbidding us to play with the fireworks the other boys had brought, the way Mom would have done, which, of course, was all we wanted to do. Bobby Jean carried Susie out into the hall's backyard. We weren't concerned about her cramping our style. We could always find some girls to fuss over her and take her off our hands. But what we found in the backyard was not normal. What we found was mind-blowing. Corey Cormier stood on one of the picnic tables alongside the largest gunny sack I had ever seen. It could have held my entire body, maybe even Bobby Jean's. Everyone, literally every kid in attendance, 20 or 30 of them, was gathered around, shouting and bidding on the goods inside. I'll loan you my bike for the week. I have 20 allowance dollars coming to me. I'll open the back door of the movie theater for you twice. 3 times? I didn't even know what was in the bag, but I began salivating. Bobby Jean said, "What the?" We'd never seen anything like it. "You'll have to do better than that," Corey chortled from on high. "Maybe I'll have to just sell one to each of you." "No!" the crowd roared. Corey reached into the bag and extracted a rocket-style firework the size of his forearm. He held it aloft. "Are you sure?" And the other kids screamed with excitement. "Let's get in there," Bobby Jean exclaimed. We were already running. Never mind that Corey Cormier was one of Bobby Jean's least favorite people. Never mind that he was known as a big bad bully who could beat up anyone, anywhere, anytime, and enjoy it. Never mind that a deal struck with Corey would probably have major strings attached. It was awe-inspiring. Corey was 11, the same age as Bobby Jean, and 1 year older than me. And yet the boy on the table and the bag in his hands loomed larger than life up there. My mind spun with the possibilities. To be up high, all eyes on me? Yes, I would do whatever it took to become Corey Cormier's right-hand man, doling out fireworks at my whim. I could practically taste the thrill of power. How would I do it? No idea. But it turned out not to be so difficult to distinguish myself that night. As it turned out, Corey Cormier had always wanted a little sister, and we had one to spare. Chapter 2: A Bag of Trouble. Here's how it happened. We stood at the edge of the rippling scrum shouting offers. Anything we could think of, loans and favors and involuntary servitude. Suddenly, Bobby Jean's face turned sour. He pushed Susie away from his chest in a hurry. "I think she just messed," he said. "I can smell it." He held her aloft with his beefy arms and sniffed. I tore my eyes from the stage and inspected her red, white, and blue onesie for any signs of spillover. One thing about babies, they leak. A lot. "Sold!" Corey Cormier cried out. "Dang, I missed it!" "To Caleb and Bobby Jean Franklin." "What?" Groans of protest swelled out of the crowd. Everyone turned to us. Bobby Jean lowered Susie so fast that for a second I thought he'd dropped her. She let out a delighted laugh, and up on the stage, Corey Cormier grinned in our direction. He jumped down, pushed the bag of fireworks at me, and stretched his arms out to Susie. She giggled obligingly and banged on his arms with her fat fists. "That's great, you guys. Thanks." I clutched the fireworks to my chest. It was like hugging a bag of cats. "I always wanted a little sister," Corey said. His words nearly got lost in the jostle of the crowd, which had turned to trying to barter with me now that I had the prize. Being the center of attention felt something like it might feel to be in a pinball machine, as the ball, a pinball that moves faster and faster and gets more and more power and more points. Their energy shot straight into me. Who's ordinary now? I thought to myself. "Not for sale," I shouted. "They're ours." I would like to say that I didn't entirely understand what I was saying. I'd like to say that that I didn't understand, but I can't. Corey scooped Susie out of Bobby Jean's arms. "Whoa," he said, "she's heavier than she looks." "You're telling me," said Bobby Jean. We cringed as Corey's bare forearm went around Susie's dirty diaper bottom. "You sure?" he said. She bounced her face against his shoulder, leaving a spit stain, and thrashed her legs, perfectly happy. Bobby Jean and I looked at each other, at the burlap sack, at Susie. Uh, Bobby Jean said. I think she needs to be changed," I admitted. The hideous stench wafting up from Susie's backside would surely be a deal breaker. "Show me how," Corey said, real serious. "I can do it." So Bobby Jean ran for the diaper bag while I defended the fireworks, and Corey cooed and cuddled our former sister. It seemed like a fair trade, the more I thought about it. One loud explosive mess for another. Dad was in a tight mood by the end of the evening. This was to be expected. Bobby Jean and I always had more fun at the hall than he did. Through the sliding door, he called out, "Bobby Jean, Caleb," and then went to wait on the front porch. When we came out, Bobby Jean was carrying the gunny sack, which could easily have been Susie all wrapped up in a blanket or something. Of course, we didn't come to the hall with a blanket, but that's the kind of detail Mom would notice, not Dad. "You ready?" he said. "Yes, sir." Dad seemed chill on the surface as he waved goodbye to a few guys on the porch. We knew better. Underneath, he was all distracted and angry, his head full of other people's politics and a lot of biting his tongue. We trailed behind him on the walk home, lugging the gunny sack and trading it off between us, but Dad stared at the ground. Going to the hall was like a job to Dad, a job he hated. "The more they see of us, the more they'll know we're just like them," he'd say if we asked, which we didn't anymore. It was his way of keeping us safe, Mom explained, which didn't make a whole lot of sense. When we got to the house, Dad flipped on the TV. He turned to the channel that told the news the way he liked to hear it. Over his shoulder, he said, "Put Susie in the crib, okay?" Uh, sure, we said. Then we ran to our room and examined each and every firework. Soon we heard Mom's car in the driveway. Bobby Jean and I looked at each other, and right about then we both got a real bad feeling in our stomachs. We shoved the rockets into the bag and the bag under the bed, and got the edges of Bobby Jean's comforter pulled down just in the nick of time. Our bedroom door banged open. "Where is your sister?" And that's the end of chapter 2.